morning, exactly. Well, it talks about a mystery ship and sailing off with friends. I thought, it's appropriate. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here with us this morning, and we'd like you to stand and sing and join us on our first sing-along song, led by the fabulous Allendale up there, Lean on Me. Here we go.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. If we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Oh, it won't be long till I'm going to need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Oh, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'll ride up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me, call me, call me, call me. All you gotta do is call me. Come on now and call me, call me.
I'm Reverend Carla Shiradas, and we thank you for bringing into our atmosphere of worship the gift of your presence here this morning. You know, Sundays is a time where we can just let go of the time, that world outside, and for a small bit of time, we get to go within to that place, that sanctuary, and tune into what is meaningful for us in our lives. And we do this through the music, through the message, and through our fellowship with each other. So welcome. And we're going to start with our tune-up this morning with our opening ceremony, Lighting the Flames of Faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony, equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance in the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practices of universal spiritual principles. And as our practitioner, Patrick Freeman, lights the last candle, let it represent the path which brought you here this morning. And I'd like to invite our practitioner, Patrick Freeman, to give us our opening morning prayer, our affirmation and declaration principles.
Thank you very much, Reverend Carla. So, the purpose of our first prayer, our first affirmation is to join this community, everybody who's here and everybody who's not, into a place of peace, love, and abundance. Now join with me in consciousness. We know that God is all there is. God is love. God is peace. God is health. God is abundance. I know that I am God. Every bit of me is God, and all the qualities of God are mine. And what is true for me is also true for everyone here in this congregation and everyone who is not here. I know this to be true. I thank the universe, and I release this prayer in the law of mind, and join with me in saying, and so it is. Okay. This is a short one. October 31st. I step beyond my limited ideas and into freedom, and so it is. Declaration of principles. Join with me. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence, operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe that this perfect spirit operates on a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is.
Thank you, Patrick. And now I'd like to invite our guest musician this morning. She has been a longtime favorite of our center and is an absolute delight to welcome Chris Shelton to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be here. It's been a while. It's good to see everybody. I have a song for you this morning that makes me happy, and I hope it will make you happy. It is an uplifting song, and oddly enough, it's called Lifted. to be alone without all the ache and pain and the April showers. But it ain't long before I think of you like a ray of hope coming through the blue. When it all gets dark again and it falls apart again, doesn't really matter about the rain. We'll get through it anyway. We'll get up and start again. 'Cause we could be lifted, lifted, lifted. We could be lifted from the shadows, lifted. Oh, we could be lifted up today, lifted all the way. You and I together will be lifted, oh, lifted, lifted. Hey, yeah. It's undisturbable, the peace we found in a bright blue space up above the clouds, where everything is understandable. You don't have to say anything too loud. When our luck runs out again, brought back down to solid ground, doesn't make me mad about the rain, 'cause we'll get through it anyway. We'll get up and start again, 'cause we could be lifted, lifted, lifted. We could be lifted from the shadows, lifted, hey, yeah. Lifted up today, lifted all the way. You and I forever will be lifted, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, we'll be lifted, lifted, lifted. We can be lifted from the shadows, lifted. Oh, we could be lifted up today, lifted all the way. You and I forever will be lifted, lifted, lifted. Now we should all be levitating.
Chris Shelton, thank you so much, Chris.
Up. Thank you so much, Chris. That was beautiful. Love it. Lifted me right out of my chair. Good morning, everybody. And happy Halloween. I just see, oh, Mary's got her wig on. A couple people have a little bit of costumes going on this morning. That's good. I have some Halloween trivia for you, because I just wanted to know, really, why do we have Halloween? Just so we can go to parties, dress up, look spooky? Well, 2,000 years ago in Ireland, parts of England, and France, there was an ancient Celtic festival called Samhain. And it was held on November 1st, and it was believed that that was the day that the souls of the dead returned to their homes. So the people dressed up in scary things and built bonfires to keep the evil spirits away. They didn't want them coming back. So today in Ireland, they celebrate Halloween just like we do here in the United States. They dress up, they go trick-or-treating and everything. So they really have a fun time dressing up as ghosts and witches and zombies and all those scary figures. Better. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor All Saints. So All Saints' Day was incorporated in this pagan holiday. So Halloween is also the evening before the Christian holiday, All Saints, which they call All Hallows' Day. And there's also another holiday around the same time in Mexico, and it's called the Day of the Dead. And that's on November 1st and 2nd. And in Mexico, they dress up in really scary outfits. But this is a day of celebration because they believe that their ancestors, their loved ones who have passed over, they come back to visit on that day. So they have flowers, they have parades, they put the picture of the people on altars, and it's a very up and happy celebration. So, you can take your pick, whichever way you want to go. If you want to be, scary, or if you want it to be a day of celebration. But today is a day that we dress up and we go trick-or-treating. And if you go to my mom's house, she's got those big Snickers candy bars right over here. Make it quick, though, there's only 12 of them. So we don't have many kids. We don't have many kids in our neighborhood. But I have a Halloween story I want to share with you. So we here as Science of Mind students, we say things like, what we think about, we bring about. Our thoughts are things, and we create our own reality. So keep that in mind when I'm telling you this story. So about 30 years ago, my dear, dear friend, Wendy Wilcott, and my other dear friend that I've known all my life, Bill Needler, and we were up in Lake Almanor in Northern California, and there's a little town called Chester, and they had this great saloon, the Chester Saloon, and it was an old-timey gold rush saloon. But they had we were there on Halloween, and they had a Halloween party. So I said to Bill and Wendy, I said, well, we got to dress up as something. What do we do? What do we dress up as? And I said, I've always wanted to be a biker chick. So let's dress up as bikers. Oh, great. So we went to the thrift store. We got big boots and leather jackets. And I had long blonde hair at the time, and she had long, brilliant red hair. So we teased our hair up, so we had, a real biker chick. And this was in the 80s. And we went to this party. It was so much fun. It was a blast. So I remembered how I felt being in that leather jacket. It was so good. And 5 years later, when I turned 50, I wanted to do something that was outrageous for me anyway. So I called the police and I signed up for their motorcycle riding club, or, program, so I could learn to ride a motorcycle. My daughters were riding motorcycle. My one daughter's and her husband riding motorcycles. I was left at home. Didn't like that. So I thought, okay, I'll show them. And so I took the course, and then I bought my lavender leather jacket. And then I bought the big motorcycle boots, and I had the leather chaps, and I was ready to go, but I didn't have a bike. So then I went out and bought my Harley. And at the same time, when I turned 50, that's when I started, I had already started going to classes, but I started ministerial training. And so what a combo. What a combo. So 5 years after I put it in my mind that I wanted to be a biker chick on Halloween, I became one. And it was fun. And I did that until I was 62. And so for 12 years, I rode that motorcycle. And and we had great fun. Bill Needler, who was with me on that Halloween, who is a real good friend of my brother. My brother's here with my nephew and his friend. He died on his motorcycle, had an accident and died. So I quit riding. That was it. I thought, well, not going that way. So I had 2 Harleys, and I sold them and went on my way. And I thought being a minister was a little safer than riding a motorcycle. Not much. Not much. Scary, but not, you know. So he passed away then, about 13 years ago. And my dear friend Wendy passed away 2 years ago. And her favorite holiday was Halloween. So last Halloween, not the one before because it was the pandemic, but last Halloween, I had a celebration for her, and my children, my daughter and my grandson, my son-in-law took her ashes out into the ocean in San Clemente because it was her favorite. She didn't like Christmas, she didn't like Thanksgiving, she didn't like Easter. Halloween was her day. So I honored her by doing that, by taking her ashes out on the ocean on that. So, there are some other scary things, spooky things, and they start with the T. Tiger. Tigers, you say? Yes, tigers are scary. Yes, they are. But unless you live in Africa or India, I don't think that we have to worry too much about tigers, you know, being a fearful thing for us. There's another one that starts with a T, and for me, it is technology. Oh, and I know there are some here in the room that feel the same way. Yeah, my brother just raised his hand. So, yeah, it took me 7 years to get an iPhone. I had the flip phone. I didn't want that iPhone because I was afraid of the technology. I just thought, oh, God, I can't learn something new again. A couple months ago at work, we got a new phone system. Wow, you know, you just can't pick up a phone and answer it anymore, right? It's got 5 lines, and it's got transfer buttons, and it's got hold buttons, and park. There's a park button, and you had to park something. I'll tell you what, it's been 2.5 months. I still only can answer the phone. So if somebody calls, they want me to transfer a call to somebody else, I go, Vanessa, what can I do? How do I put this button? You know, it's awful. So I have a little fear of technology. Once I get to know it, it's good. You know, I'm happy I have an iPhone now. I feel like I'm back into the 21st century. So I feel better about that. But technology is not the T scary word either. That T scary word for some people, not all, is tithing. Oh, don't close your mind yet. Let me finish what I have to say about it. So last Sunday, we started our committed giving program, and it goes for 5 weeks. And we do that every year in October and November. And some of you, I see many of you that been here as long as I have. I see 1989 is when I started coming to the center. We had Adventures in Faith. You remember that? Remember Adventures in Faith? And it was a big production for 5 weeks. We dressed every Sunday, we dressed all in the same colors. We had... oh my gosh, we had art shows, we had auctions, we had classes, we had all these things at Adventure in Faith, and it was really quite fun, but it was a lot of work, but it was fun. But now we have this wonderful program, and so each week, last week, Reverend Alice opened the giving program with what she was talking about, and the next 3 weeks after today, 3 Sundays after today, there'll be different things talking about tithing. And we'll give our own interpretation of what that is. We know that tithe means 10, and in the Bible, they talk about tithing, that they had to give 10% of their crop or something, and then they got to keep 90% of it. For me, tithing is the most powerful spiritual practice that I do. It is the one that has proven to me that there is an energy of love and a divine intelligence that surrounds us and that is within us. It personally has changed my life and enriched my life for the good, for sure. So throughout my childhood years and my teen years, we attended the Church of Truth in Pasadena, which was a unity church. And I always saw my parents give money, give their gift to that center, because that's where we were spiritually fed. So at a very early age, I understood at a certain point in the back of my subjective subconscious mind that this is what you do, is you give. You give where you are spiritually fed. So tithing is the practice of graciously giving 10% to the source of where you're spiritually fed. When we give that gift, we are practicing the law of circulation. And it's often referred to as the law of sowing and reaping. So everybody take a deep breath. And hold it. And hold it. Hold it. Let it go. Without circulation, we won't live. Without circulating the oxygen in our body, we won't live. If we turn on the hose in our yard and we take it and we crimp it, the flow stops. It stops because we are blocking the flow. And that's the flow for everything. If we close ourselves off to love, we're crimping that hose. We can't give or receive. We can't give or receive the abundance that is ours, that comes to us in the universe. We can't do it if we crimp the hose. So we believe in circulation, and we don't want to grasp on and hold tightly to everything that we have. So tithing is 10%. That means, hey, you get 90% to do whatever you want with it. 90%. If you look at it that way, it doesn't sound like that much. And it is a spiritual principle. Back in the 90s, I went to, Reverend Alice was talking about this place last week. Reverend Marcia Sutton did a program called Sacred Days. And I went to Oregon to the Old Forest retreat. And my first Sacred Days there was to something they called The Principles of Financial Freedom. And the subtitle was Duplicating the Nature of Spirit in Your Financial Affairs. And I learned at that time, the book, I was going to bring it, but it was too heavy. The book, our workbook was that thick. I mean, it's a huge thing. And we had 5 days and we worked through all the different things with the financial freedom. So I learned at that point, I think it was 1995, that there were 3 kinds of giving, of financial giving. And the first kind of giving is compensatory giving. And that simply means that you give money and you get something back for it, right? You go to the grocery store, you give the checker some money, and you get your groceries. You want to buy a car? You go, you give the money for the car, and probably a loan on the side over here, and you get a car or a house. Or it's for services. You go to the doctor and you pay for the doctor. So you're getting something. You expect something in return for what you're giving with compensatory giving, right? So that's the first type of giving that there is. We expect something in return for that. The second kind of giving is charitable giving. And it's a loving act to help others with no expectations to return to us. But there is an expectation that when you give your gift, that it will produce something that will benefit others in the world. When we give to a charity, we expect those people to, we've always given to the Boys and Girls Club. We know that will help those children in the Boys and Girls Club program, grow up and be fine individuals. Or if you give to, disabled American vets, that's what I've given to all my life. There's so many, but I encourage you to research it, because there are some that a lot of that money that you give goes right into their pocket. I know that Salvation Army, only 97% of the money that you give to Salvation Army is to help other people. There's only 3% that's done for their administration. So look for it. Be sure you're giving to somebody that you know. So when your funds and your gift in charitable giving are misused and you hear about it, it makes you angry. It makes you upset, because you expect some good to come out of that, not just to go into somebody's pocket so they can buy a big house, right? Isn't that correct? Yes. The third kind of giving is called gracious giving. This is the purest form of self-expression. And it's where we give for the simple joy of giving. And it's out of a deep sense of gratitude. You're grateful. You're grateful, so you give. We never give with gracious giving out of obligation, because it doesn't work that way. That's not the spiritual practice. The spiritual practice is to give out of yourself, out of your time, your talent, and your treasure, to give out of love, totally out of love, and feeling grateful for what you've already received. It's a gift for what you've already received. Over the past 30 years, my main source of spiritual inspiration and where I have been fed spiritually is at the Center for Spiritual Living. So that's where most of my tithe goes. But there's other areas. I am inspired by musicians. I am inspired by teachers. I'm inspired by other ministers. I'm inspired by Diane King Van. I'm inspired by a lot of different people. And so I give a tithe there too, because I'm grateful for what they've already given me. One of my favorite musicians is Jamie Lula, and I just found out he's getting his doctorate in the Doctor of Humanity in January at our conference, and I'm thrilled because he's done so much for the New Thought movement, and his music is just so inspiring. Okay, so at this time, and the most important thing is with gracious giving, you have no expectations of getting anything back. It's like you're paying it forward. That's the way I feel about it. You already have the inspiration, you already have the gratitude, and so that's your gift. So, and it's really, really, I can't say this enough. It's really important, the feelings that you have when you give your gifts. It's got to be out of gratitude and out of a deep love. And then the gift is well received. So now I would like to invite my friend and a practitioner here at the center, Cheryl Lyman, up, and she's going to share with you how tithing has changed her life.
Thank you so much. 6 years ago, I found the center, and I mean, I found my life. And 6 years ago, we had a speaker, Edwin Gaines. Does everybody remember her? And she did it on prosperity and tithing. And right then, I went, wait a minute. My dad was so negative about all of this. Oh, they're just putting it in their pocket. You know, so I was kind of raised like that. But after Edwin Gaines talked, and I read one of her books, she's got 4 books out, I think, I started tithing. And you have to tithe with love, not obligation. That doesn't work. It has to be love. Once I started tithing, we have a little cafe, my family, down in South San Clemente. It was doing okay, but when I started tithing, it's booming, and it has been ever since. Just the other day, my son gave away 100 burritos to a charity, and I said, you know, you're so sweet, you're so nice, you're so generous. The next day, we got a $600 order for more burritos. That's just the way it works. What you give, you get back. That's just the way it works. And let me see, I've been a practitioner 2.5 years. We had a special class coming up in practitionership, if that's what you want to call it, and I needed $1,000. And I thought, oh my goodness, where am I going to get $1,000? I don't know where I'm going to get $1,000. The bank called within a couple of days and said, you have $1,000 put into your account. And I went, what? Some guy in Australia had been taking money out of my account, like 20 here, 30 there, that I didn't really miss it. Anyway, my $1,000 came right back to me. It always does. It always does. And the other day, I needed some extra money for some things around the house. Went to play bingo at the senior center, and guess what? I won the prize. See, $350. Money just falls out of the sky once you start tithing, and you do it out of your love and your heart and not an obligation. Just open up your world to tithing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I love it when members of our centers come up and talk. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. So this is the 10th month of our yearly theme, Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. We've been doing this that's the theme for all of the centers for spiritual living throughout the country. So timeless wisdom, I'm just going to refresh your memory. Timeless wisdom means oneness. There is only one infinite reality. We call it by many names. We call it God, we call it Spirit, we call it Lord, universal presence, the thing itself, first cause, what is it? Source. We call it a lot of things. There was a minister years ago that called it Big Sweetie. So she loved to call God Big Sweetie. So the one infinite reality is undivided, it is complete, and it is whole within itself. Because we are one. We are connected. The evolutionary vision is where we see a world which every person in the world lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principles, emphasizing the unity with God and the connection with each other. It's a world in which we individually and collectively are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. Action, not just sitting there in their consciousness, but action. We're called to that. Our October theme is going further together, and that came from the African proverb that reminds us that, I quote, alone we can go faster, but together we can go further. as we near the end of our journey in October, we need to keep in mind our spiritual community that brought us here to this point in time. Together, as Centers for Spiritual Living, we work together in harmony with one another, with other faiths, with other people to envision an expanding world that works for everyone. So today, it's I'll meet you there. And I'd like our Centers for Spiritual Living, I don't know what spiritual leader that for all the Centers for Spiritual Living to just do a quick 2-minute video here.
When we're on not. Week 5 wraps it all together, wraps it all up, the whole month, with a reference to Rumi's poetic words. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. And the invitation in this is to look into the question, am I stuck in the field of right-wrong duality? And if I am, how may I move beyond it to experience more freedom, more love, and more oneness? I leave you with this quote from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. It comes from the May 1972 Science of Mind magazine. Take your place, then, in the universe in which you live, having neither fear nor arrogance, but in the simplicity of faith, come to believe that you are one with the creative genius back of this vast array of ceaseless motion, this original flow of life. You are as much a part of it as the sun, the earth, and the air. My blessings to you.
Thank you, Dr. Edward.
Hello, I am Edward Fillion. The suggested theme for our centers and study groups.
So I want to start out with the
worldwide
complete
for October
quote
is
that
going
of
further
Jalaluddin Rumi
together.
that he started with. There's a complete
global vision.
quote on that. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. So as we reach the top of the mountain and prepare to pause and reflect on what we have learned this past 10 months, we remember that we're reaching towards an experience of divine communion, where there is absolutely no separation from ourselves, from each other, and from spirit. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, says this: we must transcend the appearance, even though we admit it's a fact. Some of you might remember the rock band REM. Anybody? Yeah, okay, good. Well, thought I was maybe the only one. That's good. They have a song, it's called Everybody Hurts. I have 4 friends right now that are going through a very sad, grieving time. One of my friends lost her father. 2 of the others have lost their life partners, and the other one lost a child. It's hard. It's hard. We don't deny that these things are painful. We don't deny that they don't happen. We don't do a spiritual bypass, as Reverend Alice called it last week. We don't deny that. But what we do is we know we have to keep going, and we have to keep going forward. So just a few of the lyrics from this. When your day is long and the night is yours alone, when you're sure you've had enough of this life, hang on. Don't let go. Hang on. Because everybody hurts sometimes and everybody cries. Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts. Don't throw in your hand. If you feel like you're alone, no, you're not alone. Everybody cries and everybody hurts sometimes. So hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. It's called Everybody Hurts. If you want to hear it on YouTube, it's on there. It's really quite a haunting song. Anyway, I love it. So there are times when we have feelings of separation and fears and anger, and we don't deny that. We don't deny the pain, but we move through and we use our spiritual practices. That's the time when we focus on those. We go into prayer. We meditate. We sit in the silence. We connect with friends. We get a practitioner. All those things, that's what helps us move through that. And we remember that we speak lovingly to ourselves. We speak kind words to ourselves, and we move forward and we go through it. So only by facing the appearances head on and allowing that divine intelligence that is within each one of us to guide us, that's how we ascend to a greater knowing. And that's how we reach a new normal. And that is how we are free from the past false ideas. And we move on and we hold on. So remember our affirmation earlier this morning. I step out beyond my old limiting ideas into a fresh new field of freedom. It's autumn. It's fall. All the trees are letting go of their leaves. They're falling to the ground, and we rake them up. But they have to release them so that there'll be room for the new leaves in the spring, right? There's a reason for this. So now it's time for us to let go of old false beliefs, from old ideas, old fears, and old concerns, and step into the new freedom of our life. It's time. Do it today. Thank you and blessings. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Thank you. And now, Chris Sheldon. Thank you, dear.
Oh, there we go. Can we have the lights all the way full up, please?
Dave, can you turn my mic off?
Thank you.
Could I get my pink spotlight, please? I know he'll appreciate that. What a lovely talk. That was wonderful. I'm afraid of clowns. Just full disclosure. Don't like clowns. And nutcrackers. Clowns and nutcrackers are right out. We don't do them. Okay, so this song, I love the way songs that I want to sing in church show up for me. Sometimes it's on a TV show, and my husband thinks I'm crazy. All of a sudden, I'm grabbing my phone, and I'm getting SoundHound on, and I'm going up to the television to try to find out what the song is, because they never tell you. This one showed up on Instagram. A friend of mine, Patricia Bahia, who's a wonderful singer-songwriter, posted this. It's not her song. It's Lucy Silas. And I just immediately, I thought, okay, I got to sing that in church. So here it is. It's about being present and being in the moment and realizing that we are living, and it's called We Don't Know We're Living.
I took a trip. I was not on a vacation. Sat face to face with my love, but I didn't see them. Staring out at the Grand Canyon, oh, but I was just so busy planning the places I'll go. We race out the door of our youth, wave bye to our mothers. We take on the world without taking their telephone calls. We see them again every Christmas till there's not another. Oh, I wish I had known. Birds don't know that they're singing. Fish don't know that they're swimming. No one knows the beginning. We don't know that we're living. I wish I could see my life like it looks in the pictures. The sky really is that blue, and the grass is that green. I had everything that I wanted, but I want to go back, 'cause it was right there when I wasn't. Birds don't know that they're singing. Fish don't know that they're swimming. No one knows the beginning. We don't know that we're living. Oh, we're living. Oh, we don't know that we're living. Birds don't know that they're singing. Fish don't know that they're swimming. No one knows the beginning. We don't know that we're living. Oh, we forget that we're spinning. Hold on to what you're given. Oh, no one knows when it's ending. We don't know that we're living. We don't know that we're living. We don't know. We don't know. Thank you. Wonderful band. Thank you so much.
Chris Shelton. Let's give her another big hand. Wasn't that beautiful? Is your heart open, wide? It's time now for our offertory. And I don't know that I could add anything else more beautifully than Reverend Judy did, talking about what that means. It is a spiritual practice, and what I would like to just say is that this is an act between you and God. Or what was that, the big daddy, sugar daddy?
Big sweetie.
Or sweet daddy.
Big sweetie.
Yes, sweet daddy. There are baskets this morning. There's one by each one of our doors, the front door, the back door, and all the way into the back area. And I just encourage you to drop your love into it. And now together, let's say our offertory affirmation. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Thank you, Reverend Carla. So Chris is going to join me on this next song. It's an Erica Luckett tune called Reflection. So we offer this to you as a thank you for all your love and support of our music program. I am just a thread, a simple thread in this glorious web of life. We are all just drops within a stream flowing towards an ocean of light. We may forget where we come from. We may forget where we're going to. I might not see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. I am just a seed, a blessed seed with eternity unfolding in me. And I pray that as I grow, I will reveal the love that illuminates my soul. When I remember where we come from, when I remember where we're going to, then I can see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. Thank you.
Beautiful. We'd like to just give thanks and appreciation right now for all of those that make our center work, the backbone of our center. I'd like to invite all of our volunteers that volunteered this week. Could you stand up for us so we can give you a big hand? Thank you so, so much. And today's practitioners are Patrick Freeman, Jody Charton, and Faith Mackey. Can you all please stand up as well so we know who you are? We'd just like to let you know that our practitioners are the foundation of our clergy. They are the ones that have been trained in the art and science of prayer. And going to see one today after service, it just might change your life. If not, it'll make it better, I promise you. So please, get a prayer. And now it's time for some invitations by Reverend Karen and Rick.
You're tall.
You.
We have no sound person.
You are invited to attend Conscious Connection right here in this room after the service from 12 to 12:30. Get together with Mary and friends for a brief discussion about today's topic.
And we love Mary. She also has a book study with Mary, and she's discussing Conversations with God Trilogy 1, 2, and 3. This meets on Zoom on Wednesday mornings from 10 to 11:30.
Shifting Sands continues to meet on Thursday mornings from 10:30 to 12:30 on Zoom, as does Coming Home, Awakening to Spirit on Friday mornings at 8 a.m. These links for all these are available on your bi-weekly emails.
And so far, we've raised $1,050 for our CSL Camp fundraiser matching campaign. So if you would like to donate to that camp, please write a check to the center and put CSL Camp fundraiser so I know where to apply it.
Speaking of CSL, the 2022 Spiritual Living Convention is coming up in January, and the theme is Embrace the Now. This year, it is being held at the Hyatt Regency Indian Wells Resort and Spa in the Palm Springs area. It's from January 18th through the 21st, and the early bird registration ends on November 15th, which is coming up. So the cost is $499, not $499, until the 15th, and after that, the regular price is $599. If you're interested in attending, sign up at spiritualconvention.csl.org.
Before the flowers, coming up on December 5th, we're having our annual holiday brunch and boutique. So, yay, exciting. What that means is for all of you creatives out there, this is your opportunity to sell some of your products. For instance, this gorgeous scarf made by Diane King Van, those will be available. It'll be a little bit different this year, as well as other photography and makeup products and jewelry. So I will have a sign-up sheet available next week, or you can just contact me at the church and I will sign you up. And these flowers, these gorgeous flowers, are from Dan Martin in loving memory of his sister Donna. So thank you, Dan, wherever you are. And now,
let's sing. On your feet.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to God, and I will feel alright.
Repeat after me, please. I am open and receptive. To the abundance that is mine. To have and to share. And so it is. Thank you.
Perfect in every way. Oh, thank you.
You're so good. I'm so proud of you. Oh, thanks, Reggie. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie, so much.